Okay, guys, we are here. It looks like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and then that's the main house. And then there is a ADU here. And the ADU, it has a, a bathroom, a kitchenette. The only reason I call it a kitchenette is because it has a sink and a fridge, but no stove in that part of it. The neighborhood is very similar to this house. There's a little park right down there. And then houses here are very similar. So we're seeing a very similar look. This ranch style brick for the most part. So quiet street, at least it's been since I got here. So let's go take a look. Double pane windows. Roof is definitely older. The seller is offering to change out the roof, if I'm not mistaken, with an acceptable offer. The one thing I do notice here, there's a structural crack. I say structural. This is separate from the house. So this pad is just poured within this section, and it's not poured at the same time as that would be, but that is a crawl space. So that's up off grade. You can see the vents here. And this structural crack that runs through here, it actually runs up the brick. So there's a little crack right there along the brick. So it's transitioning into this structure. So these two structures, something's happening on here. And I did notice also that the floor in this house are a little wonky, which is not really that unusual for a house like this. So living room, obviously, the kitchen, there must have been a wall removed here somewhere because there's a light switch on the side of the cabinet. But you got that stove that should be a drop-in stove, but it's a regular stove, so you can see the back of it. And a strange bar here. I'm not sure what any of that is, but so bedroom hallway, and then galley-style kitchen, which is this real long, narrow. I say narrow. It's standard, but that's how you identify a galley is going to be the fact that it's just this long hallway style. So, all right, let's go over here. Take a look at the air conditioning unit, which is new-esque. Could I guess it's a 22? So not too old. First bedroom, you can see this flooring. So you can kind of see the flooring here. You can see it, it's that vinyl coated stuff, it looks like. This is the regular floor, the original. So pretty standard bedroom. Again, double pane windows. Not hurricane, but vinyl, tilt-in sash, single hung. So just the bottom comes up. Closet, no doors, and there's no closet rod. And we've got this floor, which is different. And I do notice a marketed height difference between this floor and that. So it feels like we got a little bit of a slope because probably there's a main beam that runs here in the middle, and it's beginning to fall off that way. So it's probably either level here and going down that way. You can feel it when you walk over it. I don't think it's terrible, but you can definitely feel it. Bathrooms have been redone. And there's a shower here, and I know there's a shower in the primary bathroom too. So everything looks freshly painted. So, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera. I'll try and get my camera super level, but you can see the floors like leaning that way, you can see it. Even in the camera, I can see it. So we got a secondary bedroom, really big bedroom here. This thing is really large. This is living life really large. So the other area I feel a change in is it feels like this room and the primary, which is right next door, it feels like it goes like this, and then it comes up, it humps up in the middle right here. So there's some underneath the bottom of this house, there's something going on there. I don't know what that is, but something. Just another closet, I'm assuming. So for an older house, this thing's got big bedrooms and a bunch of closets. So again, this is going to be a mirror of the one that was over there size-wise. But, and I don't know, you can't really tell in the pictures, but there's a hump that kind of runs about halfway through this door, and then it runs across this way. And it feels like it's going down that way, and it feels like going down this way. Again, not saying that it's, a huge issue, but it is something. Well, I lied to you. I was going to say this was a shower. This is a tub, but the other one in the ADU is a shower like the last one. So, sorry. Didn't mean to misspeak there. But again, frosted glass, double pane. We just have to be real careful that we would have a really good home inspection on this one, that you did so you got somebody crawling it. So again, kitchen. And I do feel like this way, again, I don't know if I'll pick it up on the camera, but it does have like almost a feeling like it's still, there's a little bit of slope there. Dishwasher, sink, no garbage disposal because it's probably a septic tank. If I have my guess, it's a septic tank. Transition over into the ADU. So you can see where they came up with the water. And I'm assuming that's a vent there. I guess I could go this way. Got a little carport. I say a big carport right there. And I think this is actually tile. But you can see there's your kitchenette, which if you wanted to, you could put a garbage disposal, you could put a stove in there. It's doable. Electrical panel. Looks like they're using a window unit to cool this. Here's that other shower that I was thinking was in the other bathroom. Wow, that's a really short shower. Okay, that's just notice that there is the top of the shower, which is really low. It's almost like that was supposed to go in a tub and they put it in here for a shower. Pretty sure that's what they did. So that's not correct. I don't know that it would cause a huge problem, but you might want to put a tile, something along the top of there to make up that gap difference. As far as the conversion, the quality, it looks pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't look hanky. It looks decent. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think it was done by a professional, but it does look decent. So we would want to check permits and see what they did or didn't do as far as the work that they did. I don't know who did the work. So huge. This is not insulated, so you couldn't heat and cool this per se, but you could probably put sides on it, make it a screened-in area if you really wanted to. Looks like that's for a TV. And they obviously have water in there, in that thing right there. Might be a laundry. That almost would be my guess. This looks like they beefed it. This thing was beefy. So they made it very heavy structure here. 6x6 post, I guess. Pole barn style. Okay, concrete floor. 3 bays, roll-up doors. Electricals in that corner. Pretty nice. So, super nice. find out what's in this little shed over here, because I didn't look in any of the outbuildings before I started. I just went through and made sure all the lights were turned on. Kind of wooded area behind it, pretty quiet. So brick and concrete block. So it's a concrete block. That's interesting. And oh, there you go. So we have our laundry and our water heater. So we got washer, dryer. These little sheds are notorious for leaking. And so it looks like there was a little leak right there, and a little leak right here in this corner. These little metal sheds, they what happens is when they move them, because they don't set them on 16 centers, they kind of flex, and then what happens is it loosens up the bolt, and then sometimes water will drip down, and it'll ruin your. So you just got to make sure the little screws on the top side stay tight. Keep it watertight. Looks like there was a little booger here on the door. So yeah, door doesn't want to shut. Good sized yard. Lots really good size. A little bit of wood rot there. Some stuff in here. Again, though, super good construction. Everything looks good in here. That might be your fabric shield, because I see a fabric shield right there with the windows when they did the windows. So this one, you can see the difference. You see how the studs are set on 16 inches on center, whereas the ones in that one are almost, I think they're probably 24 centers. So this building, when they move it, they put the straps on it. I mean, it really stays square. But when they move those other ones, they don't stay square. They build them at a different location, move them on site. And when they move them on site, you'll get a little bit of leakage from the screws moving around a little bit. So if you have any questions, let me know. This looks like a pretty nice one. Again, subdivision is very similar to this one as far as the house goes. So give me a call when you get the video if you have any questions. Thanks.